Okay. Hello, everyone. It's Darlene here again. I'm super excited with this project that I'm about to share with you. Um, it's another wall hanging, and I was inspired by Angela Holton. I think that's how you say her name. Um, she did a shabby chic wall hanging using embroidery hoops, or a hoop, I'm sorry. And I just love the way she did it. Of course, mine's not exactly like hers. She had little hearts that she put on hers. If you go to the YouTube channel, you'll see the project I'm talking about. But Angela, you did an outstanding job on that, and there's no comparison whatsoever. I was just truly inspired by it because it was on a hoop, and the way you did it was just magnificent. I just loved it. So anyway, this one here was inspired by that, and as always, I get all my images, or have so far gotten all my images off of Pinterest, and that's where this image comes from as well. Very elegant lady that I decided to use on here. Let's see, let's show you real quick the image I'm referring to. She's just gorgeous. And I have to say, what I did by mistake, I forgot to flip my image. So I decided to, because of that, I covered up some of the stamping because she's supposed to be on a really big stamp. And I forgot to use the mirror image so that when I transferred it and I ironed it onto the material, she's facing the other direction. So all of the lettering and all is backwards. But the way that I decorated around her, you really can't notice that. So that's why I did it that way. But also, I just love the way this turned out. I'm super excited. I did things that I haven't really done too much of before. I made all the flowers on here. From my own stash as always, and I used Murray, I think that's how you say it, Murray fabrics, and I made roses, and I hot glued it all together when I made them. I just, I loved it. I also did for the first time a poof flower. I forget where I had seen that on YouTube. I had seen, well, a couple different people make these, and I just loved the way that looked. So this was my first one that I had made ever, actually. And when I made it, I decided to put it on a doily, and then I have a gathered lace underneath of that, and then another gathered lace under that. So it's in different layers. I like the layer effect. I think that does a lot for a flower. It builds it up and it makes it look really good. And then I used a blinged out button in the center. Didn't want to go too blingy because I thought it would take away from this flower. I just really liked the way it turned out. Oh, and also stick pins. I made stick pins. I never made those before. And I did beading with jewelry and stuff, so I have my own stash, but I just never made stick pins before. So now that's a new thing I'm really into, is the stick pins. So I put a couple stick pins there. I made a flower up here in the corner as well. And I used a vintage pin on top of that. And underneath of that, there's some like gathered doily. It's like the edge of the doily. And it's not very long. I just gathered it and I really liked the way that looked. And I just put this on top, made a flower like this on top, very simple, and a vintage pen on top of that. And then over here, again, I made a bunch of flowers over here, some rosebuds all out through here, another seam binding bow right here, and I've got some lace gathered underneath, and these are like crystal. These are like crystal little balls I forget where I got them, but it was from my own stash that I had gotten a long time ago. I think at a fabric, or not a fabric store. Oh, where you get flowers, like a flower outlet, and all kinds of things that you make flower bouquets with. Anyway, that's where I had gotten that. And believe it or not, this right here, ladies, I tell you, do not throw away your old perfume bottles and perfume tops, because they really can come in handy when it comes to these pieces. That is actually the top off of one of my old perfume bottles, and I just painted it a little bit to distress the gold on it, because I didn't want it to look all gold. I wanted it to be kind of muted in this piece. And then over here, I got some more roses that I had made, and I took some tulle, made some tulle rose buds as well, right in here. And some more of the blinged out, these are buttons, and that's what that, oh, and this here is another little vintage pin. It's a kitty cat. I didn't know at first if I wanted to part with that, but I'm glad I did. It looks very, very good there. I like that. And then over here, I made a heart like Angela did. I made a heart, and I covered her up, or we covered it up, I'm sorry. Covered it up, and I used a wedding dress applique. And then I put a little flower, nothing real fancy, just a little pretty flower, and a bling button. No, I'm sorry, take that back. That's an earring. That's an earring right there. And then a little key. So you have the key to the heart. I think that concept looks good. I mean, I just like that concept. Another stick pin that I made, ladies. Proud of myself for those very first ones. Down here is another flower that I had made. This one's gathered. I had taken the material and I just double folded it, and I stitched it, gathered it with a running stitch, and then I had put the rose on top of that. I like the colors in this piece because these colors can go in any room. It's not designated to any certain color. It's all, you know, pastel colors, and I really like that. Another flower that I don't normally make is this one right here, which was a first. And I took some more of this material here, and I cut strips and folded the seams in and glued them together so you wouldn't see the raw edges. And then I just took and folded them and did a running stitch with 4 petals. And then I put that on top of a doily. And then on top of this, I put another little tiny cutout from a doily on here. And then I used another earring, pearl earring here. And, oh, another puff flower over here. Some more stick pins. Love the way that turned out. And girls, I'm super excited about this as well. I took my perfume bottle, an old perfume bottle, and I took and put some gesso on it, just so it wouldn't be all shiny, and I put some lace around the bottle, and then I took, I glued the lid down on there so it wouldn't come open, and I ran pearls all the way around the neck of the bottle, and then over here underneath of this lace, on top of the lace is a little tiny bow, and I put an earring top on top of that, and I love that. That is awesome. And then I got some dangles over here, some dangled piece that I had hanging from here, which I don't know, I just love that. I really do. I thought that was such a neat idea. So from now on out, I'll be saving some of my perfume bottles for sure. I used to save them all the time anyway, because some of them were so pretty I didn't want to part with them, and I used to have them up on a shelf, but then it got to the point where it was just collecting too much dust, so I decided to take them down. And but it does pay to save them. You know, you crafters, we kind of it's hard to part with some of our bottles or containers, because as soon as you see something, you're like, oh, I can use it for this or that. So, and that's what happened. So, also what I did is I took some pearls and I kind of just glued them all around and scalloped all around this side and down through this piece down here. And I did it over here as well. I just like the way that looks. And down towards the bottom here, I took and made this like a focus point actually. And I took and made bunches of flowers and just kind of stuck them here and there. And under here is another little heart that I had covered with satin and wedding applique. And I trimmed the edges in pearls. And let's see here. I don't want to go over the minutes, but there's so much to say about this piece. And there's another heart over here. Underneath there is another heart. So there's a total of 3 different hearts on here, which Angela did on her piece. She had 3 hearts too, but hers was completely arranged differently. But I did like the concept of using the hearts in the hoop. And so there's 3 hearts. There's one here and over here and over here. And then I took a wooden piece, just like a wooden dowel piece, and painted it, gessoed it, painted it, and put it in there as a filler, which looks good. And I took and strung some bling to some chain so it hangs, and there's like 3 dangles there. And then I've got layers of lace here to hang. And then I've got long pieces to hang from towards the bottom. So just love that. Looks so good. Turned out awesome, I think. I just love the piece, the way it turned out. And then on the back, I have a hanging piece. Nothing fancy, ladies. I just took and I glued this around the edge. And then on top of that, on this side where it's at, it's topped with lace that I put on top of that. And then, as always, I always trim the pieces out. And for my drapery stash, I use some trim all the way around. Give that finished look around the sides of it. So, what else, ladies? Mystic pens. The lady on here, she's trimmed out. I took and I printed her out, like I said, from Pinterest. And I had ironed her on from adhesive, some of the adhesive paper, and I ironed it onto fabric and put her onto here. And then I took pearls and outlined it, and then I took some of this trim, went all the way around it, and under here there's a doily, and then flowers on top of that. Let's see what else. I think that's pretty much it, guys. I use wedding appliques, as you can tell, up in here. Wedding appliques. Let's see here. I'm sorry, guys. I promise I will get better with these videos. There's a wedding applique there, and wedding appliques over in here. Just, pieces here and there. A wedding applique from a wedding dress. So I love getting my hands on a wedding dress because you can use a lot from a wedding dress, between buttons and appliques and all that good stuff. So, okay, well, look, ladies, that is my, third hanging? Yeah, my third wall hanging that I'm bringing to you, vintage. And leave me some comments and let me know what you guys think. And hopefully I'll be uploading another video here real soon. So thank you guys for watching. And yeah, leave me some comments. Let me know what you think. And thank you to all the new subscribers. Still searching for some. So I want to build up my channel. So that's what I'm working towards. So thank you guys, and have a good day. Bye for now.